let's have a party.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Wow.
Okay, so
that was the most exciting recording starting I've ever experienced.
I was actually going to start it off with a rap.
Oh, snap. A rap.
Yeah, but I couldn't freestyle in time.
You couldn't rap?
Nah, I couldn't rap.
That happens to the best of us. Yeah, I don't either, Dan. Let's hear it.
Well, okay, it was going to be something like we're going to do the whole beatboxing thing. It was going to be like, my name is Dan Orr, and this is Eric Whitaker, and then that's as far as.
And then you're like, shit, nothing rhymes with Whitaker.
Yeah, well, vinegar, but how am I going to put vinegar in that?
Shit, I don't want that. Damn.
I mean, I'm supposed.
Vinegar is good sometimes.
Yeah.
Let's go with apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, that's the healing one I heard.
The healing one. Not to brags, but just not to, all right.
You don't like why don't you like the brags?
Oh, I do like brags. Yeah. I used to take a shot of it every morning, just like it woke me up.
Yeah, I believe that.
Burned my throat too.
Did you mix it with water?
No, or anything. I just took a shot.
You took it straight?
Yeah, I did. I don't know why.
Did it do anything?
Actually, if you have heartburn, having a little shot of apple cider vinegar will get rid of it right away.
I love that.
Yeah.
I needed to do that. I've been having heartburn.
Oh, yeah, I go between that and Alka-Seltzer. Depends on what mood I'm in. So.
Yeah, actually some believe that apple cider vinegar has a lot of health benefits, but I heard though you're not supposed to drink it straight.
Yeah, probably not. I do a lot of things I'm not supposed to do.
We all do them. We all do them, Eric.
Yeah, we only live once.
Yes, we might as well make it painful while we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apple cider shooters or apple cider vinegar.
Yes.
Living on the edge right there.
Or sparkling apple cider.
Ooh, delicious.
Yeah, that's some of my fave right there. I love apple cider. Seriously.
See, we learned our lesson when Corey was on. We waited till after we stopped recording to talk about food, and then it really popped off, and we were all three like, damn, we should have put that in the podcast. So now we're just going with food straight out of the gate, I guess.
And actually, Molly, you work at a coffee shop with a lot of delicious sweets.
Yeah, I love to eat and make stuff to eat.
Yeah, food is great. I'm sorry, did I interrupt you earlier there, Molly?
I don't know.
Well, because I just heard you were saying something, and then I started talking about the coffee shop and the sweets, because there are some delicious sweets. They have monster cookie bars there.
Yeah, always. I think I was just going food, yeah, moaning in the background.
Oh, yeah.
I really appreciate your early morning pastry posts. Yeah. I love to see the things that you guys have. I wish I were there eating them.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to bake.
Absolutely. Yeah. She makes Molly, you make awesome sandwiches too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. So for those of you who don't know who Mollie Piatetsky is, well, first and foremost, a friend of the show. I've known her for at least a decade now. And she is currently the singer in Closet Witch, and also Baby Alchemy, who I understand is going to be dropping a bomb-ass track tomorrow.
Who described it as bomb-ass?
I did.
Oh, I love that.
Just now.
Yeah, we're just putting out a recording somebody did on 420 years ago as the beginning of just anniversary-ish release that is followed by all of our tracks we've already done, and then instrumentals and some new tracks.
That's awesome. Nice.
But new tracks we recorded in the past, nothing we worked on recently, to be clear. But just releasing it, putting it out into the void for others to maybe consume if they want to. Maybe to just be like unloaded and out there. I don't know.
Sure. That's awesome. I'm always excited to hear what you guys are putting together for sure.
So everybody at least share it.
Yeah. And it's been a while since we've heard anything from Baby Alchemy, so I'm super stoked about that. Regardless of if it's old or if it's new or whatever, you know.
Or new to us.
Yeah, it's new to us. There we go.
Very true.
Is it a song that you guys have performed live before?
The newer stuff on there?
Yeah.
I don't think so. There's 2 instrumentals for songs we were kind of working on and then never really did anything with. So I think there's 2 completely new songs.
Cool.
So is this sort of like a beginning of working on new stuff, or is this just getting some stuff out there that you've been sitting on?
It's stuff we were sitting on that we were kind of wanting to keep moving forward with, but then Closet Witch and Life and just everything kind of took hold and we never got to it. So now it's just like, well, might as well release it and just do something at least with it.
Now, do you also sing in Life?
What?
He said Closet Witch in Life. You know,
in the way.
I'm supposed to tell jokes sometimes.
All right. And I'm
sometimes they fail.
Yeah, that went over my head.
Yeah,
I usually try to save them, but sometimes I just sit here and just let them kind of collapse.
Yeah, he just lets me plummet to the ground.
Oh, it happens. It happens.
It has to be fun for him.
Well, I mean,
point of doing anything if there's no fun.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like I'm being mean. You know, I just sometimes I just can't save the moment.
Yes, that just describes life, doesn't it?
That's true.
Sometimes we just can't save the moment. Now, did I interrupt you, Eric? Because I feel like I'm interrupting a lot of people right now.
Yeah, I think we're having sort of, while we're talking, it sounds like other people are cutting out. So I would guess all 3 of us feel like we're cutting each other off. So I don't know what to do about that other than just apologize a bunch or like ask a question, give some time for a response. I don't know. We can just be conscious of it and try to work around it.
Well, that sounds fantastic. That sounds like a friends moment.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm all about friends. That's my thing.
The show?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
No, I was not ever a big fan. But as Dan and I have talked about in the past, I think anytime, I don't know, for me personally, liking things that other people liked when I was young was not something I did because I was trying to be cool. So I should probably give Friends another shot. I've heard people like it, so I don't know.
I mean, if you're looking for background television, it's okay, but I don't really think you're missing out on anything.
Oh, all right, cool.
I would agree with that.
But if you wanted to be good at trivia, probably watching Friends would be a good thing to do.
Absolutely.
That I do love trivia, so maybe I'll do it for that as a research project.
Yeah, that's my hot take on Friends.
Nice.
But in my opinion, if you want to watch a quality 90s sitcom TV show, it's Seinfeld all the way for me.
Oh, yeah. I like Seinfeld quite a bit.
Me too.
Seinfeld is better than Friends.
Yeah. I would have to say so.
Yeah.
Definitely, for sure.
Yeah, I didn't even like Seinfeld until I had seen Curb Your Enthusiasm, and then I was like, oh, this is similar, so I'll watch that too. And then I ended up liking it. It's also good for trivia, too.
Yeah.
Has there been anything as far as like, media, music, TV, books, anything that you've been digging lately, Molly, for inspiration or otherwise?
Well, I love to watch mindless MTV drama, so I always dig on that for media.
So like Teen Mom?
Like Jersey Shore, Florida Bama Shore.
Okay.
Those 2 things.
Okay.
Juicy as hell, mindless, dramatic.
I have to admit that
I wouldn't say it's inspiring though, not for.
Yeah.
No way. Inspiration. It's more like unwinding.
If you would, okay, Molly, of all the people that I would think would have been inspired to live their life the way they do by Teen Mom and Jersey Shore, you're definitely at the bottom of that list. Like for me, like I definitely would not have guessed that at all. So I could totally see that. I have to admit, and I hate to admit this, but I guess these listeners are going to hear it. Yeah, I find myself kind of getting, drawn in by that sometimes too. I used to be into the VH1 drama, but like stuff, the stuff that was like Rock of Love, like that really cringy stuff.
Yeah, because like it's so unlike your real life. And then it's like, oh, holy shit, people are doing this. It's just so easy to have as like that thing you watch to unwind. I don't know how else to describe it. It's so mindless and juicy. Mindless and juicy. Like a good...
Yeah, that's a great description of it, actually. Yeah, definitely. Sometimes you just don't want anything that you can think about.
Yeah. I work a lot of hours, so I definitely love that kind of stuff at the end of the day.
Sure, absolutely. Anything else that's been on your plate as far as that goes?
I mean, for like inspiration and good stuff, I listened to that Charles Bronson Youth Attack record yesterday, and that like is always a personal favorite.
Wow.
Like those things. One of those things sometimes like you hear and you're like, damn, I wish I wrote more records like this.
Yeah, there was a documentary that I saw, and I think I might have sent it to Corey, because I know during quarantine we were kind of sending back music documentaries that we found on YouTube. And it was a documentary about the Chicago like d.i.y scene. I don't remember what it was called. Does that ring a bell at all, Molly?
Yeah, I think Corey and I watched it together.
Okay, yeah, and there was like a whole thing about Charles Bronson, and it's so funny because all those like power violence bands from back then, I always have like a way in my mind that I visualize them. For some reason, and I think Eric, you can probably relate to this because like we kind of talked about how in the late 90s and the 2000s here in like the Midwest, it kind of seemed like all the bands that were kind of doing that style were kind of, they were looking like Spock. Because I remember we called them like Vulcan hardcore.
Vulcans, yeah. I had a Vulcan haircut for a little while, and I was way too old to have it. I was like, for real, like maybe 30, maybe like 32, and I had like bangs and side curls, and my hair was like magenta. It was really, it was not a good look though. Like it only kind of looks good on like young, thin people, not old fat guys. You know what I mean? Like it just, you look like you're on Planet of the Apes. That's what I look like. Like,
and
I look like Dr. Zayas.
Yeah, it is a look.
Yeah. And that look looks even better on a, like you were saying, a skinny young person who's also like got his back to the audience, flailing his guitar, getting ready to kill you at a show.
Yeah, and maybe like a black sweater with a white collared shirt underneath. That's always tight. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But anyway, so my point was that I remember Charles Bronson didn't look anything like I visualized them.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, and I should know better because I've seen bands like in that style that don't look anything like the Vulcan, but I guess I'm disappointed when they don't all have Spock haircuts.
That's fair.
Yeah, so
you were almost awesome. You guys.
You were almost great.
Yeah.
Only thing I would work on is the look.
Not one white belt in this son of a bitch. It's like, come on, man.
Music, awesome. Hair, ooh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But that's your main criticism, like when you're reviewing their record, is just you don't even say anything about the music. Just, God, have you seen these guys?
Yeah. Yeah. This band has worse style than the Pixies. It's unbelievable, but true.
U-boxes did not get checked.
And that's possible to do.
It's nearly impossible. You just put on like a university of whatever t-shirt that you found somewhere and some sweatpants, and you're like, oh, okay, let's go play a show. We're the Pixies. No one will notice.
Well, I guess we're going to have to say University of Massachusetts since they had that song called
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah.
Because that's where they're from, isn't it? They're from like the East Coast or something.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess in history. Hey, you know what? I know somebody who's from the East Coast.
Oh, who's that?
That's Mollie.
Yeah, let's hear that story because I've always been interested.
Pretty much just moved out here when I was going into my second year of college with somebody and ended up just staying, even though I walked away from that relationship that brought me out here. Pretty much stayed because I met like Dan and Travis and Corey.
Oh,
so I was like, damn, these guys are cool. I guess I'll keep filming.
Yeah, we're sorry, Mollie, that we made you have to stay in Iowa.
No, I love it.
I know you do.
So where exactly did you move from on the East Coast?
Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
It's a pretty big culture shock, or?
Yeah, definitely at first, and now I like never go back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I can imagine. Well, you've been here for like what? Well, like I said, like I said, it was like 10 years now, isn't it, or something like that?
Going on 12.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Mollie also like played in a couple bands with me before Closet Witch formed, and so that was really cool too. That you we've talked about this a lot, but it's that was really cool that you found your footing here in the local music scene as well.
Yeah, you and Travis were like my first friends, so like I thank you guys kind of for helping me make a little bit of like a social life to be a little independent adult here as a new.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome, and it's also great, I got to say, Mollie, to see what you have grown into since then. In terms of just being. I mean, you're inspiring me with. Like you and Corey are inspiring people just in general, and I'm just.
Thank you.
I'm very, it's awesome to see how far you guys have taken Closet Witch. Because I remember, like I don't actually remember this because apparently my memory, I have like one of those Mandela effects about the origins of Closet Witch because I honestly don't remember it being like kind of like, well. I don't know, like you guys always describe it as kind of like a joke. It started out as kind of a joke, or am I kind of wrong there?
I don't know. That's like Alex's memory of it.
Okay, so everybody else is having that collective Mandela effect.
I don't think that's like we did like joke about it like being a hated band, and we weren't really taking it seriously as like a band that we were going to pursue seriously. But then it did become like something we really did get attached to. But we did like joke about how it was just like we weren't trying to like be liked or like do anything with it. It was more just like a little bit of like a release, and like we didn't really give a shit who wanted to listen to it. Yeah, it was just like us wanting to jam together and use space.
Right, and clearly that backfired in the best possible way.
Yeah, that's how I remember it. But I don't know, everybody probably like did go into it with their own vibe, I guess. So
yeah, like their own interpretation of how it was kind of at that time.
Yeah, we did heavily talk though about how like we would always play at the end of shows just because like people wouldn't want to stay, and it would just like encourage people to leave. But that isn't why we started the band.
Right. But I love that story though. I love the story that you guys started with this idea that it was going to be, regardless of if it's true or not, you guys should like keep saying that it's true, even though I just pretty much, revealed that it's not on this podcast. But
I mean, who knows? My memory could be incorrect.
Sure, but
it's a mystery. It's a mystery,
and that's great. I love the story that it's either a mystery or it's that you guys just purposely made a band to try and be hated. Because I don't remember staying at any shows. I stayed at a couple of shows at your house pretty late, like after the bands, but I don't remember the ones, or I don't know how many there were, where Closet Witch would just like make noise to try and get people to leave, as well, as you said, Alex kind of describes it as.
But Alex too, I think, perceives himself, because he is so loud, just as like loud and bothersome on his instrument. So maybe that's just how he interprets that too. I don't know.
I think it's awesome. I think Alex is onto something.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's the greatest thing to have in like a bio.
Yeah, and like overall, we were just like, people will fucking leave watching us, and that's okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Like, it's I want people to go.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when it's like 2:00 in the morning and everybody's drunk or something.
Yes, exactly.
Well, and also, if you're not starting a band to be hated, then what the hell are you starting a band for? Like, there's so many bands out there to like that do, that are trying and stuff. Like, who cares? Like,
it should be like about you and the people in the band, like feeling good, having a good time, making good memories.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Actually, Molly, I have a question, and I probably have asked you this and had a conversation about this before multiple times, but okay, so since tomorrow you're dropping the Baby Alchemy track, which of course, as you said, so did you guys record everything like a few years back, like, or did you do the vocals like recently?
No, it's all from the past.
Okay, it's all from the past. Okay, so maybe this is not... I don't know. Let me know if this is a question that you maybe couldn't answer. But like, okay, so obviously in both Baby Alchemy and I'll even throw in when you were doing vocals for the Peaks and that version of the Peaks where I played bass, and then Closet Witch, two very distinctive vocal styles coming from you. I mean, they're completely different, but so my question is like, is there any way, and like I said, I know you probably haven't done the vocal style for Baby Alchemy and the Peaks in a while, but is there like any difference in how you approach like each vocal style?
Yeah, definitely. I would say, like, for one, when seriously like getting in the mood to do vocals for different projects, I definitely focus on like listening to different genres that I like to sing to or like to get down to, but like it's always more like geared in the genre that I'm going to be like trying to do vocals in. So like I feel like just like mentally I put myself in a mindset sometimes, but also for Closet Witch I try to do a lot of like mouth stretches and like gurgling, just a lot of like vocal stretching. And Baby Alchemy, I don't really bother to do anything like that. It's just kind of like raw, emotional singing, I guess.
Sure. And that's one of the things that I've always like really respected to Molly, is the fact that I don't know very many vocalists who actually could just jump into like Baby Alchemy and just do something that is like, so strictly like Baby Alchemy vocally from a vocal standpoint, and then just turn around and just have this like blood curdling like approach in Closet Witch. Like, usually like vocalists, I find, unless you're like Mike Patton or something, a lot of times it's like, one way or another. And I've always really admired that about you, Molly.
That's really nice, Dan.
I was going to ask about that too, sort of like I've really enjoyed getting ready for the interview we're doing by listening back to a lot of stuff, and I was also wondering about the difference between what's happening in other projects and Closet Witch. Did you, and I don't know, I always ask process questions, but did you have to actually like train to do that? It seems like something that
to do what?
To do your vocals in Closet Witch, like I guess the endurance aspect of it. It seems like something that'd be easy to blow out your voice or something. Did you have to do a lot of training to get it up to where it is?
No, I wouldn't say I did, but I would say there's like lots of things I try to continuously do to like maintain my the stamina and endurance. Like I love to run, and that always really does help me with screaming for long amounts of times, because it's a workout. It's a stomach it's just a workout of a lot of your body.
Yeah.
So also just like becoming in tune with like how air moves in your body, kind of, that helps too. And I think just like with doing something more and pushing yourself more, you kind of learn that. But I would say, like, when I first started doing vocals for Closet Witch, Alex would send me like lots of different clips of like warm-ups and things like that, like Melissa Cross videos, and that really helped a lot back when I started. And honestly, like when I'm on tour and we like meet other bands, sometimes I like to like ask other vocalists what their tricks are, they do, and that's like always good too. But like I wouldn't say I really trained ever, but I do love running, and I find that helps the more regularly I do that. Definitely can say after years of doing it, like avoiding dairy and citrusy things, and like frigid cold drinks right before playing helps a lot.
Nice.
Like, there's just things that help your throat a lot to avoid wear and tear. So,
well, the other thing too, like you said, it's a big workout, is like for the whole band, you're doing more than just your musical job. I think the whole band is pretty physical the entire time, especially you. And so that seems like that'd be a hard thing to do, because even if you could pull off the vocals with no problem, then also you're also basically doing aerobic exercise the entire time on top of that. So it just seems like, I mean, to compare myself with just about anyone is a terrible idea, but I would definitely die almost instantaneously. So it's the whole band is really exciting to watch. And so I think it would be a lot of hard work. So,
and that's awesome. One of those things too, where people talk about screaming, you know, and a lot of people are just like, they kind of dismiss it as like, you know, well that, you know, all you're doing is just yelling, you know what I mean? But like, they don't realize how much, like, you know, I've yelled in many bands as well. And it's hard. It's not easy. And to do I don't think they realize to do it properly, as you were kind of alluring to there, Molly, there's a lot of self-care that should be probably taken more so, you know, because you can lose your voice doing that very easily, you know, if you're not careful.
Absolutely. And I'm in no way a professional myself. I've just like through like practice and trying to like listen to advice and just seeing what works for me, like trying to care for myself in general, I've learned a little bit and like what's helped me. And I've been fortunate enough not to lose my voice or be hurt yet or anything. So, I mean, nobody listen to this and like take my advice and only my advice, please.
You heard her. No dairy, no citrus, and run. Actually, that's not bad advice.
Just help me.
It's not bad. If someone did that, that'd be fine.
But I think too, like as far as like all of us playing and seeming so like acrobatic and into it, I think we all do really play just to like get that like certain energy that builds up in you that you can't always get out. Like we play to get that out. So like for me, like if I'm not giving it my all and feeling it, like what's the point of even doing the vocals?
Absolutely.
Right.
So it almost comes like natural too. I think for all of us in that way, just like doing something we care about selfishly more for ourselves.
Yeah. Again, if you're not doing that, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
I would say follow the advice of starting a band to be hated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
that always makes it funner.
Yeah, more funner.
Here we are again, funner. Am I butchering the you know, the language here? It's supposed to be more fun, right?
Yeah, more funner. That's right.
More funner. More funner. That's kind of more funner to say.
Yeah, I think it works.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to ask you. Oh, okay. So, Molly, how's your approach to lyric writing these days? Has it changed at all? Because I know that you guys completed the second album, which you guys are kind of holding off on releasing. I don't know. Is it okay for me to say that?
Yeah, no, you're fine talking about it.
Okay. But was the approach to like lyrics any different with these new recordings as opposed to the first album?
I wouldn't say so, really. I always kind of just take a personal approach, like 90% of the time. A lot of the time I just listen to the tracks, let it take me where it takes me emotionally. Sometimes that's down like memory lane. Sometimes that's in the current and stuff going on. I would say I've always kind of been that way.
Sure. Yeah, I'm totally stoked to hear that new album when it drops. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm excited for it to come out. I just feel like we've definitely like more and more over the years fine-tuned our sound and had fun as a band. It's cool that we're still kicking.
Absolutely. I bet you can't wait to tour again too.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm like trying not to get too excited because who knows when it'll happen, but
yeah,
definitely can't wait to go to a show. I'm so excited to go to a show.
Me too.
Amps, ooh, loud, ooh, disorienting. I love it.
Absolutely.
And moving the amps. That's really the best.
Talking while my bandmates move the amps.
There you go.
Yeah.
Classic.
Tearing down.
That's the best part of being the singer, right?
Classic Mollie. Or the tiniest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is going to be exciting once shows can, start at a bigger rate again, for sure.
Yeah, we're slowly like relearning all of our material, so that's pretty fun. That's pretty cool. Just so we know it all.
Yeah, that's always really cool. I've been enjoying like sort of like, the whole there's been a lot of, I feel, despite the fact that there, is this pandemic going on, people being quarantined and whatnot for a long time. There's a lot of like creative ways that people are still getting their music like seen and heard and everything through like live streaming. I've been really enjoying seeing how people are kind of still doing their art,
Yeah, me too. Very creative, and it's awesome we have this platform.
Yeah, I kind of thought about that the other day. Like, what if we didn't have all this technology and this was happening?
Oh
like,
my gosh, it'd be terrible.
Could you imagine that? Like, that would be like, it would be a completely different world. If this was in the 90s, it would be a completely different world.
Yeah, I'm a pretty grim motherfucker, so I don't want to think about it too much.
Yeah, I totally understand that. I'm a grim motherfucker, but as you know, Mollie, I have kind of a sense of humor about things that maybe I shouldn't always have a sense of humor about.
Yeah, I feel that.
But I do, and that's just me. And you know what? We're all horrible people. And,
well, we're
all people.
I'm all flowers and sunshine over here, guys.
Well, okay, yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, so I don't know. Another way that I was going to introduce us, Eric, at the beginning of the show was I was going to say, "Hi, I'm Derek, and this is Ian."
I like it.
Okay.
Wait, Ian? Is that what you said?
Well, yeah, but only
I don't want to be Ian. I'm sorry.
Why? What's wrong with Ian?
Actually, wait. It is better. I'm going to change my name.
To Ian?
Yeah. Ian.
Okay.
Ooh, it's nice. Kind of has a Joy Division feel to it.
Well, wasn't there a guy in Joy Division named Ian?
Yeah, Ian Curtis.
Okay, all right. So then,
but Ian Whitaker sounds
Ian.
like fine. That's.
I like that name, Ian Whitaker.
I do too.
Derek Orr, though.
Damn, I'm gonna have to call my mom. Actually, I think she listens to this now. So, Mom, I'm Ian now.
I'm sorry.
I'd cross that line.
Yeah, thanks for the name all these years, but it's over now.
I have to imagine my dad's face when he's like, "Hey, Dan." I'm like, "No, Derek."
Yeah, I'm into it. Derek and Ian.
We're like, "No, Derek. I changed my name." And like just totally like make it sound like he knew that I changed my name.
You signed the form, Dad.
We're like, well, when did I do that? And he would ask me that too. Be like, when did I do that?
You wouldn't remember. I was drunk.
Exactly.
I say like act like he has amnesia or something.
Yeah.
But see, I guess I was like the Ian. There's Ian. There's a lot of cool Ians out there. I mean, there's Ian Mackay.
Yeah.
And there's another Ian somewhere, I'm sure. Oh, Ian Donald. He was the drummer of Disgruntled Noise.
Oh.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yep, for a little bit. And then there's other Ians out there, I'm sure.
I've met a few Ians.
Yeah. You know what? We just came up with the title of this episode, A Few Ians.
A few Ians.
Well,
there was Ian Astbury. Remember him? The singer from Southern Death Cult? And the Cult?
No, but I found a CD from the Southern Death Cult at CD Warehouse in Davenport.
Oh.
Yeah. And I remember thinking,
pretty good.
This is the coolest fucking band name ever.
Yeah. Then they became the Cult. And they were okay. They were. I don't know. They're okay. They're like Danzig light. You know. It's.
Oh.
I'm a huge Danzig fan. Sorry.
Yeah.
I should preface each show by saying that.
Danzig fan 1.
Yeah. Sorry.
So they're not Danzig heavy.
No, they're like the Doors. They're somewhere between the Doors and Danzig. Like Ian Astbury's voice is like that.
I mean, that's kind of. I mean, I've heard like Danzig's voice being described as like the metal punk rock Elvis.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all just trying to be Elvis, sort of. Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, I can't do it.
Terrible. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to preface each episode with, I love Danzig, I hate Elvis. Okay.
So maybe that should be like
get that out of the way.
The name of every episode, I love Danzig. Or no, it should be Ian loves Danzig.
Ian loves Danzig.
I'm into it. It's cute. I like it.
Dude, so many titles I'm into. It's a good one, too.
Oh, wow. We really can get off topic here.
Maybe we'll just call it A Conversation with Mollie Piatetsky.
Oh, I like that.
Closet Witch -- Baby Alchemy.
You could just call it
I think that's
Ian
great.
loves Danzig. That's okay.
God, I'm tempted. We'll find out.
Speaking of Disgruntled Noise Pods, I think you mentioned your drummer. Was that the first music project you were involved in, Mollie, after you moved here?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, because there was nothing before that. Because Dan taught me how to play all those songs. Yep, that would be it.
Nice.
Yeah, and the story of how that happened, I love telling the story. Sorry, Mollie. But the story of how this happened, and I'll make the quick version, is because I just love this because Mollie, if I remember right, correct me along the way if I get things wrong here, Mollie. What I remember is that you posted on Facebook that you wanted to learn how to play bass, and that you were asking for bands that had easy bass lines. And I said the Ramones. And then Travis was like, well, why didn't you say Disgruntled Noise Box? And I was like, that's a good point. Then he's like, well, you want a full band. Why don't we ask her? It's like, that's also a really good point. See, Travis is a genius.
He is. I love it.
Yes.
That's how it happened.
Absolutely.
Joe Munson was drumming with you guys, right?
Yeah, he was drumming with us, but he I think he was living in either Iowa City or the Quad Cities at the time, and he just didn't want to travel that far for practice. And then Ian, who is somebody who had been playing in bands for a while, was like, well, I could just drum for you guys. And I'm like, okay. So it all ended up working.
Nice.
And then we broke up 3 years or 4 years later.
Right.
Dramatic.
But
was there a lot of drama? Did you guys fight a lot?
No.
No, not at all. It was always a great time whenever we got together.
I thought I could start another beef today like I did with the Coreys.
The two Coreys?
Yeah.
The two Coreys.
Did Corey tell you about that beef that
no, but
started?
Oh yes, I completely.
Yeah, he
forgot.
started a beef with Corey Taylor from Slipknot.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
For real.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, he was talking some major smack on Corey Taylor.
What a little.
No, he wasn't. It was all us. We were trying to stir up trouble.
We were the ones instigating the whole thing.
But I was hoping to start some beef here with Disgruntled Noise Box.
The D.i.y beef. No, there was no drama.
No, not at all. I remember we were jokingly half-assed gonna be like, I think we wanted to start a fake beef with like some other band, but I don't remember who it was. I think it might have been Techno Lincoln or something.
Yeah, we always dreamed about some fake like drama.
Yeah, like there was a joke. Shout out to Techno Lincoln, by the way. Those guys are great.
For sure.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, no, it was always a great time. For sure. And then also the Peaks. The Peaks was a great time to play in too.
Yeah, that was fun.
Also, another component to this story that's fantastic was the first show you ever played with us, Molly. Or was it the first show? I don't remember, but the Great River Days Battle of the Bands.
Oh, fuck yeah. First show I was just thinking about how D&B's kind of like terrorized Muscatine for
Yeah, we really have. And notice that the very next year they stopped having Battle of the Bands.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
YouTube video that Chad Bishop aired recently of an old episode of a show that happened on Halloween in 2006.
Oh, yes. Yeah, a long time ago. Wow.
That was chaos. That was pure chaos.
It really was.
I love it.
Interesting fact about that, too, is a young Jeff Carl was the cameraman, I believe.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, he was in college at the time. He was actually taking Chad Bishop's class at the time.
Precious.
Yeah, very interesting. That was one of the early memories I have of Jeff Carl, the handsome dude.
What a memory.
Did you guys know that I started playing guitar because of Muscatine Battle of the Bands?
Wow.
No!
Not to make it about me, but my friend, who wasn't my friend at the time because he's a bit older than me, Lynn Schinkel, played guitar in a death metal band called Blessed Death.
Oh.
And my mom and I were there at Great River Days, and I was pretty little. I'd say 11 or 12 probably. And then all of a sudden there was death metal happening in front of me, and my mind was blown.
That's amazing.
For the rest of my life.
Yeah. That's
so blown.
Muscatine?
What's that?
In Muscatine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some sweet-ass death metal.
That's crazy. So did Blessed Death play the Great River Days Battle of the Bands?
Yeah, that's where I saw him. I didn't know anything about it. My mom was like, hey, let's go check out these bands. And all of a sudden it was like for real death metal. I was like, oh, no. Everything's different now.
I'm willing to bet that I was probably at that Great River Days because we used to go every year when I was a kid. I remember there was this weird funk metal band called Feeding the Monster that played that made everyone leave.
That's what weird funk metal will do.
Yeah, it sounded like, it sounded like that Infectious Grooves type stuff or whatever, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I was just wondering what weird funk metal sounded like. And
Yeah, it's like...
don't like that.
Infectious Grooves. Or like, I
don't like Infectious Grooves, though.
Yeah, I guess
They're a little, funkier.
But that, yeah. I said weird, not bad.
Oh,
but they were bad, though. They were bad. So, okay, let me add weird, bad funk metal.
Oh, okay.
I remember they cussed a lot, too, and I remember that was like... that gave me the freedom to cuss more.
You already have carte blanche to say funk as much as you want instead of the F word.
That is so true.
That is so true.
Everybody ready to get funked up?
All right, you mother funkers.
You funkers, we're going to funk you up. Yeah. Shit, I kind of want to start a funk band now just to say that.
What I think is when you perform solo from now on, Eric, that's how you should talk to the audience.
Here's another funky one to funk you up. And then the slowest, most boring song anyone's ever heard.
It's like, funk you up if you like David Lynch.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow.
You should totally do that. See,
I am going to.
These are the types of voices we're trying to get ourselves accustomed to as podcast show hosts, Molly.
Oh.
I'm just trying to get Corey to have me do voiceover work for his cartoons. That's my only goal in life. To
Commission. Oh, wow. That is a great goal.
I know. But I told him, so it's not really a secret.
No, it's not supposed to be. You're supposed to let people know when you want to do things.
Oh, wow. What?
Gotta put yourself out there.
Your generation. So overt.
Yeah, we open the door so that people can shit on us later.
I just keep it all to myself.
We also invented new metal.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
I know it's both a sad
my standard hyenic wheezing laughter is my only response.
Yeah, why'd you do that, Dan?
We still have a guest on here too, by the way, guys. She's a really, really good podcast guest.
Yeah.
Her name is Mollie Piatetsky.
Yep.
Piatetsky.
And she's from
practiced
Philadelphia.
it this week.
So why don't you tell us the history of how you got into Muscatine? And no, I'm just kidding.
All those questions again.
Start at the top again. Yeah.
Let's just start over. One thing that I thought would be kind of fun, and I don't know exactly, this is completely improv, so bear with me. I've noticed that you've been posting a lot of really cute videos of Ferd the cat.
Yeah.
And so that leads me to believe, and I already know this anyway, you like cats.
I like cats, yes.
And a lot of people like cats.
Yes.
So I actually want to ask both you guys this question, okay?
Yes.
This is a question for both Molly and Erik. What is the best TV cat ever?
Oh.
Yeah. If you got one, go for it, Molly, because I'm going to have to think for a second here.
I'm thinking too.
I really like that on Alf. I think the cat's name is Lucky, and that's pretty funny because Alf is always trying to eat the cat.
Yeah.
So I don't think the cat gave a stellar performance or anything, but just the concept was good.
This cat that was always like escaping a certain death.
Or escaping a sandwich.
Escaping a sandwich too, yes.
A lot of times it was between two slices of bread, I
always like the parts where like Alf would fire up like the blender.
Yeah. It was a real anti-cat show.
Very anti-cat, yeah. Okay.
But did you come up with any, Molly?
I was just thinking about, I always like Gigi from Kiki's Delivery Service. The Studio Ghibli, or Ghibli, however you'd say
Oh,
that.
yes, I was going to ask. Okay.
I like
That's
Gigi.
right.
A little smart aleck cat.
Okay.
Loyal.
Sure.
Well, Dan, I have to clarify. Are these real cats or just
any cat?
Just any cat. They can be cartoon cats.
Cartoon cats?
Yeah, they can be cartoon cats because I like a lot of cartoon.
I would kill to be in a band called Cartoon Cats.
Do you remember when I described myself as a late night cool cat?
I do. It was the most apt description I've ever heard someone give themselves.
Late night cool cat.
Isn't that just
because I was talking like this?
Okay.
Wow.
Thinking like, what does a late night cool cat do?
I don't know. I just think of like Brian Setzer, because he was part of the Stray Cats, and I'm sure he played late at night a lot.
Yeah.
I guess no. Can I have more background on that?
So, do you know who Brian Setzer is?
I don't think I do.
So he was part of the Stray Cats in the 80s. Am I right there, Erik?
Yeah.
Okay, and they were like rockabilly, and they did that.
Okay.
What was the song they were famous for? I'm sorry.
Rock This Town.
Yeah, we're gonna rock this town, rock it inside out. But that was like
and 17 was.
Sexy at 17.
Yeah, I know.
Why?
And then,
They're not problematic at all.
no, not at all. Just like the cherry popping daddies, which we talked about
let's
last time.
not talk about them again.
The
God.
swing bands, get your shit together. It's 2021 now.
All right. So this guy, you said it's the late night cool cat.
Yeah, the late night cool cat, Brian Setzer. If you're listening, Brian Setzer,
Oh my God.
thank you. Thank you. Please tell your friends about us. But anyway,
Brian Setzer's listening to this. It is the saddest day for rockabilly of all time.
the saddest day is a kick-ass
Among
convert
so
song.
many sad rockabilly days. It's got to be
Yeah.
the worst. Anyway.
A sad day for rockabilly. God, so many titles. Anyway, yeah, I don't even know where we were going with this.
Late night
I mean,
cool cats. You asked about fictional cats too.
Oh yeah, fictional cats. So
Which I saw an article in the Hard Times the other day, which is my main news source,
it
and
has,
it said that Garfield was a poser and Heathcliff is punk as fuck.
oh, dude.
Which I kind of
forgot
agree
about
with.
Heathcliff.
I mean,
What about
Heathcliff,
Felix?
Yeah, Felix is pretty hard.
Felix is like a hippie, like a beatnik kind of. Like, he's on a lot of drugs, I think.
What about
Like
Sylvester? Yeah, he probably was on a lot of. What about Sylvester?
Ooh,
I don't know, man. He's kind of like thirsty.
yeah. Yes.
I don't know.
Does he drink a lot? I don't remember that.
No, I mean for Tweety Bird, he's like kind of too much. I don't
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
The hound dog.
Yeah, I always love the episodes though with Foghorn Leghorn, who, I mean, if I were gonna ask you who the best TV rooster was,
Yeah,
it's Foghorn Leghorn. He definitely has like a leg up on that one.
Did you guys ever see
A
that?
leg horn up on that one.
There you go.
Have you guys ever seen that animated movie, Rock-a-Doodle-Doo?
Yes.
Yeah,
Long
actually,
time
I
ago.
do like that rooster better.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's some rockin' roosters in that.
Yeah, but the thing about that's true. Those are rock and roll, but they don't like, like hit people with their bellies and tell them like that they need to grow up and like things. Like Foghorn Leghorn has that like the way he talks to you is like somebody yelling at you.
Yeah.
You like that, Dan?
Well, I like it in cartoons because I like violence in cartoons. I mean,
Okay.
that's like okay. So like, there's this I remember there was this one part of a Foghorn Leghorn cartoon always gets stuck in my head where he's like, that little like kid rooster that he was always like trying to teach to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, he hands him like a baseball and he just like throws it on the ground, doesn't know. And then Foghorn Leghorn looks into the camera at the viewer and is like, there's something a little about a kid who don't know how to play baseball. It's just fantastic. It's glorious.
I like that little chicken, though, or whatever he is. He's
Yeah,
like a Henry.
Is that his name?
I don't remember his name. I
I just
remember
like little tough cartoons like Scrappy Doo.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah, Scrappy.
I
Doo.
really like when real little tiny like baby animals in cartoons get mad and get all tough, and then they roll up their arm fur like it's their sleeves when they're about to get in a fight. And man, I really like that. In my head, there's a little gray kitten that does that, and it's too cute. But I don't know. I can't remember what it's actually from.
Yeah, there's
tough
definitely
kittens.
definitely something satisfying about like name calling in cartoons too. Like I remember that little rooster Henry. He like called Foghorn Leghorn nothing but a loudmouth snook
Oh, jeez.
in one episode, and then also there's that. Who's the girl that Foghorn Leghorn's always trying to get with?
Oh,
Like I think she's like a female chicken. I don't remember her name, but like, anyway, she's always like, yes, like she always says.
Oh, right. I do remember.
You know who I'm talking about?
She's
Yeah.
kind of like a Blanche Devereaux
Yeah.
from Golden Girls.
That is her son. Henry is her son. And so anytime, and she's very protective of her kids. So anytime that like Foghorn Leghorn fucks up, I remember she would always beat him over the head relentlessly with like a rolling pin.
Wow. Yeah, I remember that. I did not expect to get into the genealogy of Foghorn Leghorn in this episode.
Oh,
I would have bet
but I mean,
money against it, in fact.
This is all important stuff. I mean, we're going to need to know it sooner or later to survive.
True.
Wow.
So all you Closet Witch fans out there,
Baby.
so anyway, yeah, okay, so are you guys going to be doing any like more recording, or are you just kind of waiting until the right time to put out that new album?
Yeah, we're just kind of scheming right now about the right time to release that. We have some singles we're going to release too that we're working in those time frames. Probably release before the album, but we don't really know what we're going to do yet. But we're not really planning to work on anything too new because, like I said before, we're just trying to relearn all of our old stuff so that when we play, we know the stuff we haven't played in like a year.
Wow.
Yeah, sure. So how long? So did you guys just recently start like commencing practice again, or because I thought you guys were kind of practicing like a little bit during the pandemic?
Yeah, we were, and we were actually writing during that time period, or trying.
Oh, gotcha.
But we did write like 3 songs, but we didn't really do anything with them, and at this point, like, we probably would have to relearn them.
Sure.
But then we just like kind of started to buckle down on the full length once we decided we were going to do that, which was also kind of in that time frame when we were writing. So it kind of switched our focus. Also, just with the realization that like no shows are happening for a while. We're just trying.
Well, it's not 100% correct. There was a Smash Mouth show that happened.
Okay, no shows for Closet Witch are happening for a while.
Okay.
Matt might be going to that show.
What Mollie's saying is that they declined the offer to play the Smash Mouth show.
Yeah, we didn't beg to get on that one.
That would have really gotten you guys noticed.
Oh, shit.
It probably, yeah, in all the wrong ways.
Yeah,
probably.
smack on the radar.
Very, very, very true.
So you guys recorded at Flat Black, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you've recorded there before, right?
Yeah, we've recorded there several times. We really like going out there.
Cool. Yeah.
Luke is such a great, like, engineer, or I don't know how he prefers to be referred to. Like, I don't know if I know that like Steve Albini prefers to be called an engineer instead of a producer, but like Luke just does such a great job with everything.
Yeah, he pretty much too like gives a lot of like free reign to try what you want to try, and encourages that, and it's really comfortable, fun. So we haven't been let down yet.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. Yeah, so I'm super excited to hear this Baby Alchemy track tomorrow for sure.
Yeah.
And, is it tomorrow? It's on Thursday, right?
Yeah. When's
Wait, isn't 420 tomorrow?
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 420 is tomorrow.
Isn't that when it's coming out, or am I wrong?
I thought it was coming out tomorrow. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Okay, well, this is welcome to the podcast of misinformation by me. I apologize.
So I just have to admit I don't post on the Baby Alchemy page, so I don't know.
Sure.
I thought it was a 420 thing, but I could be wrong.
Well, it's this week nonetheless.
Yeah.
So it'll be awesome.
It's either tomorrow or Thursday.
Yeah,
so.
Either way, everyone will be hearing this on Thursday, so
yeah,
either check it out today or go back in time and check it out 2 days ago.
Exactly.
That's a really good point. None of that even matters, does it?
No.
That's
Nothing
great.
matters.
I love it when things don't matter and things just fall into place.
It's the best.
Yeah, I mean,
Some of the falling into place, that part's added, but just I like the other part a lot.
Sometimes you just need life to give you a break.
What?
But anyway, so yes, please, everybody check out that Baby Alchemy track on whatever day it comes out. I still think it's tomorrow.
Yeah, mentally, I'm gonna be like feeling it tomorrow.
Yes.
I'm gonna until it gets out, even if it's not.
I'm gonna at least imagine what it sounds like tomorrow.
Yeah, me too.
And then I'm gonna find out what it sounds like for real and see how close I can get.
All I'm saying is that you keep saying tomorrow, and everyone's gonna look for it on Friday.
That's true. That's a good.
So you should say today.
Today. Check it
Either
out.
way,
Today,
it's happening
tomorrow.
today.
Tomorrow hits today.
Yeah. Tomorrow's music today.
Tomorrow is
Accelerativ Thrust.
Molly, you got any questions for us? Because I mean, we really don't know how to interview. Just kidding.
What color shirt are you guys wearing right now?
Right now, I'm wearing a burgundy. It kind of looks like I look like a glass of red wine.
Very nice, very nice. What about you, Eric?
I guess it would be like a heather blue.
Nice. Nice. Okay.
How about you?
White.
Nice.
You're wearing a white shirt?
White, yes.
Doesn't say anything on it.
Nope, it's white. White with a black trim.
White with a black trim. Awesome.
Oh,
Does
did
your
you?
shirt-
Oh, sorry to interrupt.
I'm sorry. Does your shirt say anything on it, Eric?
Mine says Twin Lakes, Iowa.
Oh, okay.
Very nice. Dan, what about you? What's your wine?
It's blank.
I love it. I love that you chose burgundy instead of maroon.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's maybe, but I don't know. I've been told I'm colorblind, so it might not even be burgundy. It could be green for all I know.
Darn it.
No, but I actually get blues and purples mixed up all the time, which is kind of a weird thing.
Sometimes I just got to sing the purples too.
I feel like I've heard that before somewhere.
Oh, so stupid. Okay. So speaking of stupid, Corey said the other day that you were going to watch a terrible horror movie, and I wondered what terrible horror movies you guys have watched recently.
All the terrible horror movies.
That's all you watched.
We watched quite a few like stupid summer camp ones, like those B horror movies or whatever. Like,
did you watch Sleepaway Camp 2 or 3?
Oh, we've seen them both.
Oh, they're so good.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one's good for what it is, which
it's just like cheesy
crazy.
though. Also cheesy.
Yeah, I really like those.
Like they're all filled with boobs, and I just love it. I'm just gonna say it.
If you want to see something that is just for no reason has gratuitous nudity, and it's almost like shocking, Ghoulies 4, Ghoulies Go to College.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good, and then in the middle, it just turns into like softcore for like 20 minutes, and you're like, why did they do this?
It's just like gore and porn.
Yeah, I don't know.
So is there that you say it's 4? So there's like 3 movies before it?
Yeah, Ghoulies 1 and 2 are. 1 is almost boring. 2 is pretty good. It's like a fun house kind of thing. It's like a carnival. It's really good. It's kind of like, it kind of follows the trajectory of like Return of the Living Dead, where part 2, they realized that the only people watching it were 12-year-olds, and so they just made a movie for 12-year-olds. That's kind of what Ghoulies 2 is, and Ghoulies 3. But then Ghoulies 4, like I said, they just add a bunch of nudity, and it's
So they
it's
just
like, I don't even know how to describe it. You're just kind of like, it's not shocking. It's not like you're offended by the nudity. It's more like, why did this happen all of a sudden? Like we're just going along 45 minutes in, it's a fun movie, and then it's like, well, shit, I can never show this to anyone ever again. So.
Yeah.
they just decided to do the porn angle like with number 4 for no reason.
I mean, I think 1 has some in it.
Yeah, it was like built up to it, I feel like.
Yeah. I don't know. It was strange, but that happens fairly often.
I feel like that's just like there's a certain just genre of horror that you just have to expect breasts and pornography.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
The worst part, too, I think, is that it's like there's different kinds of nudity in horror movies.
Yeah.
And so it's like you have to be a little weary of certain kinds of horror movies in general, because the nudity is not going to be just like gratuitous and whatever they were trying to accomplish in the 80s for fun. I have no idea. But some of it's like kind of, it's violent also. And then that's when it's like, this is terrible. I don't know.
You know,
not that any of it's good, but you know.
I have to admit though, I love like the cheesy, like violent nudity. Like when there's like boobs and there's like something like tearing through it, like a hand. It's amazing and ridiculous.
Right. Yeah, I always feel like that was a staple scene in like every 80s horror movie that had a teenager in it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like anything with like a sleepover or camp, I feel like.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Or massacre in the title.
Slumber Party Massacre Part 2.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one with the driller guitar? Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whew.
Cheesy.
One.
I started watching a movie that's not a horror movie, but was kind of interesting. It was called I think it's called I'll Be There, and it was actually about this like an indie movie about this post-punk like festival that people attend, and there's like 30 made-up bands, and just the personalities of like all the bands are so like they're just like just complete caricatures of like who you would expect to see at that show. Like,
oh yeah,
just ridiculous. But I've only watched I actually watched like the first 15 minutes of it before calling you guys, and I think I may go back and watch the rest of it, and I'll let you guys know if it's any good. But it was the first like 15 minutes kind of had me cracking up a little bit.
Nice.
What is it on?
It's on Tubi.
Okay. So free.
I think it's called I'll Be There, but I might be having the title wrong. I do that a lot. Yeah, it like all the bands are just like it's like they're all like competing with each other in like the most ridiculous ways. Like, you know, there's like this one scene where one of the bands like is hanging out like against the wall, like right outside the venue or something. And this other band, which is like two people, come up and they're all like, "What are you guys doing here?" And they're like, "Well, I live here and these guys were practicing with me." And then they're like, "Oh yeah, well our label gave us a 5-star hotel." I mean, it's just like, it's like that kind of like, obviously it's somebody who like probably has dealt with egos in bands or something.
Yeah, definitely.
It looks like it was directed by Craig Ferguson.
Okay, is that am I right on the title there, Eric?
Yeah, I think so.
See, Eric is my go-to scientist.
I really liked Craig Ferguson's show back in the day.
That makes sense.
I don't know if you ever watched it. But.
Yeah, that makes sense actually, because it kind of reminded me a little bit of like Craig Ferguson style comedy.
Well, there you go. That's what happened.
Interesting. So I'll let you guys know if it's good.
Well, if we're giving actual recs, then I would say if you haven't seen The Greasy Strangler.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
You didn't. That is such a great movie.
Oh my god. Okay.
Great.
Absolutely. That every time that he like gets done killing somebody, he takes like a shower in the car wash or something, and he's like, "Ah!" Like, am I correct about that?
Yeah.
Like,
no. Absolutely.
Yeah. That is. I mean, why didn't I think of that?
I don't know. But that the director's other movie, An Evening with Beverly. Oh man, what's it called? Anyway, it's really good too. An Evening with Beverly Luff Lynn is what it's called.
Oh, okay.
But it has Craig Robinson and what's that person's name? Aubrey Plaza.
Oh, yeah, Aubrey Plaza.
And Jermaine from Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really good.
Is good.
Greasy Strangler's weirder, but that one's kind of funnier in its own way. I don't know.
I also like in the Greasy Strangler how he gives like disco like tours.
Yeah.
It's just like he kills people, takes showers and car washes, and then gives disco tours.
Yeah, it's a tough movie though. I don't want anyone to actually think I stand behind
The
anything that happens.
sketchiest fucking thing ever.
Yeah, I'm totally against anything that actually happens in that movie, but I like it a lot. You know.
That is the greatest description I've ever heard of anything. Totally against anything that's going on, but I stand behind it. Only I don't recommend it to other people.
Yeah. What about you, Molly? Do you have a real movie rec for us?
That I feel mutually like that way about.
Well, just something we need to see.
Ooh, I love The Forbidden Zone. Have you guys?
Yeah, fantastic movie.
That's like one of my favorites.
You actually are the one that got me into that, Molly, because you loaned it to me when I lived across the street from you guys.
I was just like stuck in a hole of Craig Ferguson because I realized I didn't know who you guys were talking about. So that's why I was so quiet for a while because I was like, who is this? Sorry.
No problem.
Like Forbidden Zone, probably that movie for me. I love that. I think it's awesome. I love that style, but you have to be like prepared to be offended, I guess. If you're, Like, don't watch it if you're lighthearted.
Yeah.
Wrong ways.
Yeah. My favorite part of that is when there's kind of a bigger dude, and I think he's wearing Mickey Mouse ears, and there's some boxers behind him. And they're boxing, and he sings that song. Yeah, and they just animate the mouth. Oh my God, I watched that scene like 400 times. It's just, I can't get over it.
I just love the whole, like all the set is just awesome. I love it.
It really is.
Very inspiring. It's very inspiring.
So what we learned today is that Closet Witch is awesome, and Baby Alchemy is awesome. We also learned some stuff
coming out.
Yeah, with new stuff coming out.
Today.
We also learned a lot about cats and like TV roosters and things like that.
Yeah. I like this recap at the end. Too.
Yeah, a lot of good movie reviews.
We touch on.
Every movie we talked about is a classic.
Amazing.
But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, things have to come to an end sometimes, and I think we're all going to cry together now. So I would love to make this a 24-hour podcast.
I've been crying for like 20 minutes. I don't know.
Really? This is our emo cast.
Just thinking about having to be done with this interview.
I feel like, guys, I feel like I would be the only one. Like, emo, I feel like has meant something different to all of us because of our choices. But when I hear emo, I think of like tons of makeup around the eyes, like mullety hairstyle, neon layered shirts with like black spiked little belts around the waist.
Damn.
What do you guys have?
That sounds like cyber goth.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting because sorry, Molly.
Sorry. No, I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying at some point because I mean emo to me, I think of Weezer. People who look like Weezer, like, playing like in Sunny Day Real Estate, Well, I mean, I do think of the whole like Marilyn Manson makeup style now because that's what it's become. But yeah. What did emo mean to you, Eric?
It was how you sent messages to people once the internet started. Wait, did you say email?
My emo is.
Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
I'm so gonna tell people. I'm gonna ask everybody now. What's your emo?
Yeah. What's your emo address?
What's your emo address? Oh my God.
Taking back at Tuesday .
Ooh.
No, I don't know what emo means to me. Honestly, the first time I ever saw the term emo in like a magazine, they were talking about Bob Mould. So, yeah, and things like The Descendants or whatever. That was the first time I ever saw.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Now that I'm gonna.
It kind of does make sense in a weird sort of way. I mean, first time I ever heard it was actually associated with John Burns, because he was in the band Tri-Lambs. We talked about that a little bit. He was in the band Tri-Lambs before he was in Meth and Goats. And they were the first band I ever saw that was described as emo. And I remember sending, and we were, I mean, he was still in high school and I was still in high school, but I was in a band in high school that was trying to get shows in the Quad Cities. So this guy named Mickey Nolan, who played in a youth crew hardcore band called Only 10 Between Us up there. And then John Burns were my two contacts in the Quad Cities. And I remember I asked John, what is emo? Like, I actually asked John through email. I don't know if he remembers this. But anyway, and like, he described rock that's really dynamic, that goes from, like soft to hard, basically. But he said that there's not really a lot of mainstream examples of it. He said the closest band and album that he thought he could think of, and this is in like 97 to compare somebody who's just now being introduced to the term emo, would be like the Foo Fighters' second album, The Color and the Shape. And I don't know why I have that memory, but that's the first time I ever heard emo.
Is that album pretty emo?
I mean, yeah, I could kind of see how it's like, I guess maybe like, yeah, I mean, yeah, there's definitely parts in it that I could see, sort of, Yeah. I mean, wow. Yeah, it's interesting. Because obviously proto-emo is like the stuff from DC, like Embrace and Rites of Spring and even Fugazi,
Yeah.
All very interesting.
Proto-emo is fun to say, by the way.
Yeah. I more specifically, when you say what's your emo address, it makes it even more glorious. Like, I'm totally on that, and I'm blaming it all on you, Ian.
Oh my God, I forgot that was my name. I like it.
Well, we talked about DC, and I had to throw it in there. Oh, there's also Ian Symphonius, too.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Yeah.
He was the singer of Nation of Ulysses.
Holy moly. I've never listened to them either.
They were
I don't know anything, guys.
Little like interview series thing where he like goes around and like interview. What is that, Dan?
Soft Focus.
Yeah, Soft Focus.
Although I think that he stopped doing it like a while ago, but there's he did a great interview with King Buzzo from the Melvins, and King Buzzo was just hilarious on it.
All right, Soft Focus. I'm on
Soft Focus. Yeah, and I think it used to be on Vice, like Vice's website. They used to have a bunch of old episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Ian. Anyway, so you can still catch us on all the social medias. We have that Accelerativ Thrust official Facebook and the Accelerativ Thrust official Instagram cooking up. And also, my name is Dan_the_ruler. And Ian's name is Old Man Erie.
Yeah.
Eric's name is Old Man Erie. Sorry, I take jokes too far.
I kind of like Ian. I mean, it feels much more natural than my real name.
It's a good name.
I've never felt like an Erik. I mean, and I'm not just trying to be funny here. Like, my whole life, I'm just like, I don't think that's right. I think someone got that wrong.
I'm trying to think about what the criteria is for being an Erik, though.
Yeah.
It's the worst. I mean, have you met any other Eriks?
Yes. And
are they some of the worst people you've ever met?
Oh, the drummer of Seath is Erik, and he's a great guy.
All right, one example. The rest suck. Come on.
Well, I don't know. I don't know any other Eriks. Like, I can't think of any offhand.
Yeah.
Can you, Molly?
Besides Eric Andre.
Yeah, Eric Andre.
Yeah, Eric Andre. Actually, his new movie was pretty funny.
I haven't seen it.
It's all right.
But
he's okay, I guess.
Well, there's also like Eric Clapton.
Yeah, see?
Eric Clapton.
That makes sense.
That just voids out whoever you just said. That voids out 5 good Eriks. 1 Clapton. Come on.
What is this, a video game now or something? You just voided out. Oh, man, that's fantastic. Right. Also, you can go and check out Closet Witch on all the social medias, too. They got a Facebook. They got an Instagram. Mm-hmm. And also, like, Molly's on Instagram. and Corey, Alex, Royce, all of them. YouTube, check out YouTube if you haven't checked them out. They have all kinds of videos and stuff.
And also tons of stuff that we talked about that Molly is on Bandcamp as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
Noise Box, The Peaks, Baby Alchemy.
Lots of free stuff.
Yeah. So check all that stuff out because it's all really good. I just listened to a lot of it this week in preparation, and I enjoyed a lot of it, especially Baby Alchemy, who I've listened to, but not in a long time. And it was, really good stuff. So nice.
That's really kind.
Absolutely. All right. So we will hopefully you will hear from us next week, and you all have a great day. And I'm going to stop recording.
Thanks, Molly.
Now.